Good morning and welcome to my first video shoot. Today's mission, Gumsprings Run. Right now I am on the end of Turner Camp Road in Inverness, Florida. This is the Withlacoochie River behind me, and it actually flows 160 miles long and empties into the Gulf in Yankeetown, Florida. It originates over this direction, over in the green swamp. This river is very beautiful, as you will see today on our journey. We're starting off here at the Withlacoochie boat ramp, and the reason why we're doing that off the end of Turner Camp Road is so we could get the full view of how to get to Gumsprings Run. We're going to be traveling this direction, and we're going to be able to see a lot of wildlife, hopefully. I don't know. I came out in the middle of the week, it's Wednesday, hoping there wouldn't be anybody around, but it turns out there was a survey crew and an airboat that just took off, and they're going to go the very same place we're going, and they said they stir things up quite a bit out there with the water and everything. So anyway, we're here. We'll see how it goes. I hope you'll enjoy the journey. Let's take a little look. Let's take a little look at where we are. This Turner Camp Road is also County Road 581. Now everyone should have Google Maps. You should be able to find this pretty easy. Turner Camp Road goes for quite a few miles until you get to the end of the road. You end up right here at this boat ramp. And you can see I have my kayak with me today. I call it the Bottom Cruiser. And we're going to be taking that today. And as you can see, this is the Withlacoochie River looking toward the direction where it empties from in the green swamp, many miles that direction. You can go this way, and this is heading toward Yankeetown, Florida. It actually goes through the town that I live in, which is Dunellen, Florida. And it's quite a journey. When I was younger, I actually canoed this river all the way from Withlacoochie near Dade City and canoed it all the way to Dunellen. It took about 3 days, but it was a lot of fun back in my younger days, and really enjoyed seeing this river. It starts out pretty small up that direction, and as you can see, it widens up. Maybe we'll even see a few alligators today, who knows. Alligators are a little bit underrated, or overrated I should say, by people, especially from the north. They fear them quite a bit and think they're going to come down here and get eaten by one, but that's not the case. Most of the time they'll try to avoid you. However, it is always a good idea not to provoke them. So anyway, what do you say we get going on our journey this morning? The time is 7:20. The fog has just lifted, so it should be a beautiful day. That's why I selected today. So let's get going on our journey, and let's enjoy seeing Gumsprings Run. Thank you. This river is so quiet and serene, especially this time of the week and of the morning. Folks, if you're going to come and do a trip like this, try to come during the week, because during the weekend there's just so many people that go out on the river. And if you like being by yourself and really getting to see the nature, it's really the best time to come to Florida and come to enjoy your vacations during the week. Weekends are made for beaches and perhaps some state park springs, but here I like to be by myself, and I like to enjoy all the nature that the Lord has provided. You can see along the river there's several different types of trees. As we get on Gumsprings Run has 4 springs at the end of it. And it takes a while to get up there. I think it's about 5 or 6 miles up on the trip, and it takes probably a couple of hours to get up, but we'll find that out today. This trip is considered intermediate as far as how hard it is. So if you're not into intermediate kayaking, I wouldn't advise doing this one. But if you love adventure, then I think you would really enjoy going on this trip. The reason why it's intermediate is because there are several logs that have to be portaged over, and you'll see that on a trip. I'll try to get some shots of that. It's not really deep, and it's got a canopy over it for the first few miles, but when you get down toward the end, it starts widening out, and it's crystal clear. The water's crystal clear because it's all fed by springs. The main spring is called Gumsprings, and next to it is Little Gumsprings. And down just a little further, we're going to see one called Alligator Springs. And there's a little spring just down from that. So hopefully I can get in the water and show you what that looks like. I hope you enjoy this trip. Like I said, it's my first video, so bear with me. I'm learning, and I just want you to have a good time as I have a good time. And I'll try to point out as much as I can on this trip. So enjoy this trip, and I'll show you up ahead where we make the turn to go into Gumsprings Run. Okay, folks, the area you see up ahead, it's a place called Potts Preserve. Now, Potts Preserve is a place that can be reserved for camping. A lot of people make reservations to come here to camp and fish, just have a good time. This is adjacent to Gumsprings Run, so I'm going to pull over and give you a good look at that. You can also get to Gumsprings Run with your kayak from Potts Preserve by walking your kayak in on a kayak cart. So that's another option you have if you don't feel like paddling the Withlacoochie. But I would highly encourage you to paddle the Withlacoochie. It's just such a wonderful, serene experience, and it's just part of the trip, I think. So let's get on up here a little bit, and let me get on the landing, and we'll take a look at a couple of things here. Let's go up this way a little bit, and I see a better place to get out where we can take a look around. Potts Preserve has restrooms, so if you ever have to stop, that's a good place to stop, because once you get beyond this point, it's just you and nature. See, there's picnic tables there, and pits for having a fire. And this little area right up here, it sure has changed a lot. But this area right up here is actually a Native American Indian mound. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it's directly across from Gumsprings Run, because I believe the Native Americans really love this area and use this creek up here and enjoy the springs just like we do today. There's not much left to this Native American Indian mound, but I'll show you what I can show you about it. And let me go ahead and get out of here. And I'm going to take the camera off and carry it with us, so that way we can, there we go. All right. Ugh. All right. Welcome to Potts Preserve. And there's one of the fire pits, and you can see people have to make a reservation. There's a gate over there. I'll see if I can zoom in on it. I guess it's not going to let me. So anyway, there's a gate over there, and just a beautiful area, very quiet. Let's take a look at this Native American Indian mound. You can see all the different sable palms here. These are native to our state. I really love them. And there's a really ancient oak tree that has laid down right here. You can see. I really love these trees, especially when they're old like this and preserved. There's a lot of bald cypress trees on the river that are still here, but the lumbering companies took many out years ago, and it's an unhappy thing, but nevertheless we still have some to enjoy. So here's one of those big oaks just laying down here. I wonder how old it is. Some people say that they're hundreds and hundreds of years old, and if you could think about what did these trees see as they were growing up, if they had a story to tell, what they could tell. Perhaps this tree was growing here when the Native Americans were here with this ancient Indian mound here. Well, let's take a look at that real quick. All right, tell you what, I'm on this side of it and you can kind of see it going up in a direction. I don't think they want people on it because, as you can see, there's a fence right here, barbed wire fence, but that's a good idea to keep it preserved. Let's get on down this way. Maybe we can get a better view from the river here. So I'm gonna climb back down and we'll go take a look at that. Shallow enough here that you can walk right in the river, and nice sandy bottom so you don't sink. But I'll just get it in the river and give you a shot from this side and let you see what it looks like without getting up in there. There it is. Kind of goes up like a hill. It's got a big cedar growing on top of it and a couple of sable palms, and I can see a big oak tree in the right behind it in the distance growing up out of there, a live oak. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, and you can actually see a bunch of shells on this. Let me get on over here and give you a closer look. There we go. So there we go, are on the edge of it. And you can actually see a bunch of shells protruding out of this. This is what they call an Indian midden, or Native American midden. This is where they would gather up shells, eat them, and they just heap them up into heaps and piles and make these mounds. So this is what we're looking at here today. A little bit of history, and I love history. You're gonna find that out on these videos that I'll talk about history and what went on here in Florida. Some of the places that we'll be going, find out a little about the history of Florida. Speaking of history, anyway, there's Gumsprings Run directly across right over there, and we're going to be heading there in just a second. But speaking of history, back in the 1800s, on this river there was the Battle of Withlacoochie. Withlacoochie means little big creek, or little big river. It was named by the Creek Indians. And the Seminoles came here and they had a Seminole War on this river, the Battle of Withlacoochie. So probably where it's got its name. Of course, Native Americans have been living on this river for thousands of years, as you can see by the evidence of that Native American mound that I just showed you. So that's just a little bit of history about this river. When you get down to the end toward Yankeetown, where it empties into the Gulf, it goes off in one direction and the other. They made the barge canal years ago, which is a good place to launch out, fish, get out to the Gulf. But I like things natural, so I would probably take the natural turn in the river and take that direction. All right, well, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get in, and I'll turn the video on in a second as we enter into Gumsprings Run. Okay, folks, we're at those bridge pilings I was telling you about, and we're going to be approaching that here from days gone by. One can only imagine what life must have been back in here, back in the 1920s and 30s, or even in the 1800s. But there you go. You can see those bridge pilings up ahead. And don't know much about the history of it. Like I said, I'm guessing that they were used to remove big trees back in the day and lumbering. And anyway, they left behind a little history for us on that. And that's the only bridge pilings I recall seeing on this creek. So they crossed right in here. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about Gum Slough and Gumsprings Run. Over on the right-hand side of the bank is actually a wildlife management area. And I believe they call it the Half Moon Wildlife Management Area. On the left-hand side, I believe is private land. And so you have the same world on both sides, but two different situations. Let's just enjoy taking a look at the creek in this clip right here. Whoops, bumped into a log, and we're going to be seeing a lot of those up ahead. If you're going to enjoy Florida, enjoy the beauty of nature, you've just got to get out into it and go back where not many people go. And that's where it's going to be the best. For the most part, this creek is pretty pristine. You get down to the end, there's a couple of houses right on the spring, and there's one on the way on the left-hand side, which we'll see. But that's all you see as far as any human encroachment. Such a beautiful morning. Sun's just coming up. Nice and cool this morning, about in the 60s. It's going to warm up to about 80s today. It's going to be great. Going to love it. Going to get in those springs and try to get the GoPro underwater, and pray tell it'll do its job. Okay, I'm going to turn this off for a little while until I see something else of interest, try to get a snapshot, or if it's enough interest, I'll turn the video on and talk about it. But let's go ahead and get up the creek quite a ways, and you know, we can only do so many clips, put them together and give you a nice video for about 20 or 30 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut off for right now. Okay, so I'm very happy to report that despite the fact that there's some folks in the airboat up there, the water is super clear. I mean, you can see the bottom just looking at this video. It's nice sandy bottom right here. But you can see the one obstacle right here. It's like a little log jam that's turned into like a little mini waterfall. So this is just one of the many obstacles that you might encounter along here. So just so you know, that's what makes the trip more of an intermediate trip. But so far, I haven't had any problems. I think I can get over this with this kayak. That's why, you know, you think there's no way somebody could come up here in a boat, but I've seen them up here in a boat. How they do it, I don't know, but it's got to be hard work. Not for me. I'll take my kayak on this one. I won't even take my Ginu on this one. All right. Let's get that water off there. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, we got through that. By the way, there was another bridge piling a little bit past that one that I forgot about. How beautiful and quiet it is back here in nature. Away from the hustle and bustle of things. I see another area right up ahead that's going to be a little challenging. I'm not sure I can get over that, but I think I can. So we'll see if we can get over this little waterfall right here. Another tree in the water. Yeah, I think I can get across that. Looks like it's deep enough right about here. Whoops. Uh-oh. My big butt. I get stuck. Here we go. All right. Made it through that one, and everything's looking pretty good up ahead. A few logs in the water, but nothing we can't get around. By the way, I wanted to tell you that sometimes on this canoe trail that there are other creeks that go off the side of it, and you can look at them and say, which way would I go? I always say follow the current. And secondly, somebody has been kind enough to mark an orange arrow so that you can see which direction to go. But you'd be able to tell pretty quick if you were off this creek, because there'd be so many trees falling across the river, you wouldn't be able to go on, and you'd have to turn around and come back anyway and get back to that point so you can keep going. Yep, step up on another one here, so I'm going to push myself off. There we go. There we go. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and close off the video. Just wanted you to get another view of this Gumsprings Run. I'll get up ahead. Hopefully we'll see some things in bloom and give you a shot of that. Actually, there's one right over there, but it's not the best shot, so I'm going to wait and try to find something that I want to show you along here, since I can see that they're still blooming. So I'll get back with you in just a little bit, folks. All right, folks, this is what I wanted to show you. This is really cool. I noticed that these flowers have already bloomed and many of them are already wilting out, but I did find one here that is, whoa, it is mucky here, but I'm going to get over there just to show it to you. This flower here is blooming very nicely and is very beautiful, and I love to see these. So, whoa, talk about mucky. I am sinking in muck up to about 2 feet. So anyway, let's take a look. This right here is called a spider lily. And I noticed something on these plants. Look at how beautiful this flower is. And these grow all along Gum Slough, as well as other creeks that I have been to in Florida. And as we go, I'm hoping to show you more of these as we go. So I noticed there's something else though that caught my eye, and if you look over here, there's these little caterpillars all along on these bushes, and these are actually some type of butterfly caterpillar, I believe. So what I'm going to do when I get home, I'll try to look this up and put a name with this, see if we can figure out what this is. So let me go ahead and do a couple of snapshots with the camera, and then we'll be able to identify them. Just another one of those beautiful creations of God that we see along the river here. So let me go ahead and get those pictures for you, and I'm going to shut the video off. I had to get out of the kayak again to show you another beautiful flower that grows along this creek. I just love this flower because it's red, and I just love the color red on a flower. So let's take a look at this and get another beautiful shot at another one of the nature creations. Let's take a look. See how nice and clear the water is? It's just beautiful. Beautiful. All right, here we are. Let me get up a little bit closer here. This, my friends, is called a cardinal flower. And the cardinal flower grows along these stream beds. There was my kayak. My kayak's getting away. I don't want to walk this creek. I'd rather float on it. Tuck it away in here. Okay. Back to the cardinal flower. Let me get a little bit closer. Look at the details in this, how beautiful it is. They love to grow along the waterways here. And I've seen a few, but not a lot. So when this caught my eye, I just had to get out and give you a show so you can see how beautiful it is. And while I'm out here, and I've got my handheld now in my hand, I wanted to show you this rig that I set up, what I've been using on this kayak. I wanted to have the camera in front of me so that way you could see out in front of me without any disturbance in my arms or anything. So I just rigged up this, I call it a KJ rig. It's my own design here. If you'd like to order one, just give me a call or put a comment and a link below. Just kidding. Anyway, it's just a piece of stick with a couple of clamps. This sits in front of me. I sit here, and that way while we're kayaking down the river, we can see what's going on without any interference of my body being in the way. But here we are. We came from that direction. Absolutely beautiful. That's a bald cypress right there in front of us, and it goes up really high, really high. These trees are all high out here. There's another palm right there. Another big log in the river, but no problem, we can get through there. Haven't had to pick up my kayak yet and pull it over or anything. Across the river over there, I see another one of those spider lilies blooming and something else. Another sable palm, and just absolutely beautiful. Look at the details on this log right here, and the ferns growing off of it. You just can't miss anything when you're out here. You have to take the time and don't rush it, and just really enjoy yourself when you come out here. You have to take the time. Never be in a rush when you're on these trips. So I know the springs are ahead, but I've got all day. And when we get there, we're going to enjoy those too. And hopefully a little fishing and a little lunch. So let's get going again and see what else this river has to show us. I'll see you up ahead. Okay, had to get out of the kayak again, folks. I had to show you this again. Now there is a good example of a cluster flowers. Look at those spider lilies. Just look at them. Beautiful. Right here at a little split in the river. And these are some of my favorites. And it looks like they've been blooming for a while, and some of them are wilting. But this is a very good example of these flowers. I'll try to get a really close up on you now that I'm out of the water. See how beautiful this is and how it's put together. Absolutely gorgeous. Wonderful. I love it. And right around the corner from that, if I'd have just waited, but you never know. Wow, this is gooey. Right down there are some more cardinal flowers if you can see them. I'm not going to walk down there. It looks like it's a pretty mucky run up there, but anyway, just another thing I needed to show you. I just can't keep this camera turned off. There's just so many things to show you out here. All right, it's time to move ahead. All right, I turned back on because I wanted you to see there's a house right up there on the river with a dock. And that house has been there for many, many years. It's about the only house on this creek, except for when you get to the end where the springs are. There's about 3 houses there. I think they rent them out. But this house has been there for a long time. And every time I've been by it, there's never been anybody there. And one time I was on this creek, I think in the middle of summer, and we got into this really wicked thunderstorm. So I took refuge under this house to get out of all the lightning and everything. And it looks like they have a zip line going across the river up here. I don't know if it's still in use. I don't know if you can see it or not. The sun's shining pretty bright on the camera. But there is a zip line up here. Let's move on ahead a little bit. Maybe this house is like an Airbnb. I'll try for some bass in here. I have caught some whoppers out of here before. It's so deep. We'll see what happens. Still heading for the springs. I wanted to show you this beautiful bald cypress tree sitting in the middle of the river. It's a big one. Straight ahead. Look at how beautiful that tree is. It's been growing there for years and years. Who knows how old that one is. But you can see that the river has widened out quite a bit now. All this is from springs, all of it. Right now there's no watershed from the swamps coming in here because we haven't had any rain. This is all spring fed and crystal clear. So we're heading for them. Should be there in about another 30-40 minutes, hopefully, at least to the first one. And beyond that, not too much further. Then we'll start taking some real good action camera pictures for you to see. Was an egret. There's also a little cypress tree right up ahead, a dwarf cypress. It's been growing there for so many years. In fact, if you look and Google some pictures of Gum Slough, you'll actually see a picture of this tree in the fall when the needles are turning yellow and gold. And it's just like a landmark. It's just really beautiful. I'll head straight for it and then turn away from it so that way you can get a good view of it. Go. It's hanging on by a couple of roots, and it's still alive. Still alive. All right. Okay. We are getting pretty close to the springs, and you can tell because of all the rocks in the water. Notice all the rocks right here in the water, and behind me there's a ton of rocks. So we're going to walk a little bit as we go to the spring, because it's a little shallow, a little bit hard to paddle in this stuff. A good sandy hard bottom. Way to help me get used to the cold water of the springs. The springs stay in the 70s all year round. I think 72. And in the summertime it feels cold, and in the wintertime it feels nice and warm because of the air temperature. But here's a nice little pocket of water right here I'm standing in. As soon as I get through here, I'll probably get back in the kayak because it looks like I could walk a little bit. There's a big log right here. And I'm going to get over it and pull through. Just kind of gives you an idea of what you'll experience if you come up this creek. Up this run. A bunch of rocks here. It's all about fun. All right, I think it's deep enough now that I can get in and do a little bit more kayaking till we get closer to the spring. Shouldn't be too much farther ahead. So I'm going to get this all set up and ready to go. All right, we made it. We are at the springs. So I'm going to walk down this little creek. I'm going to just give you a good look at the bottom and show you how beautiful the bottom is. And it's been like that for quite a ways. So now you can see these springs. When we get up here, we'll go down into them. Hopefully my GoPro will stay waterproof when we go under. Wanted to show you this beautiful oak tree right here, full of Bartram's air plants, all in bloom. Take a look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? All over the tree. Alright, what I'm going to do is tie this boat up, this tree here, so it doesn't go anywhere. Or rather, I'll just stick it over here on the side so that way it's out of the way. Kind of cumbersome trying to do all this. No complaints. Okay, we're ready to roll. Let's head on over to the spring. And then we're gonna be getting in the water. And I got my dive mask right here. So, look at those fish. This is the highlight of the creek, folks. This is where we see these beautiful springs, and I don't know if you can see those fish swimming down in there. There's all kinds of fish, bluegills. There's those houses I was telling you about. And I'm pretty sure they rent these out almost like a Airbnb, which I think is really nice. Every time I've come here, I've never seen anybody here. So, all right, getting closer. When we get up in there, we're going in. It's getting colder, colder. Ouch, cold. That's all right. You know what, at this point, I'm gonna take my eyeglasses off and stick them in my handy dandy case here. Not waterproof, but as long as they're protected, that's the main thing. I wonder if they're gonna fit in here. Let me see. They are not gonna fit. So what I'm gonna have to do is take these and put these somewhere on the side temporarily. That was a bad plan. Let's see. Let's go on over here and I'll put them on this log over here. Ooh, this is some mucky stuff here, brother. Ooh, gonna make me work for it. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these eyeglasses and I'm gonna wrap them around. I don't want to lose these. I've already lost a wallet and a cell phone today and I don't know where they are. But there we go. That shouldn't go anywhere. All right. I've already murked up the water real good here. All right, getting deeper and deeper. Yeah, can you see that up ahead? This is called Gumsprings. Now I'm gonna put this mask on and we're going in. Let me test this GoPro out and see how it does in the water. Should be waterproof. All right, folks. I think that took a mighty good video. I hope you enjoyed that one. That was the main Gumsprings. Now around the corner, not too far, I will show you the little Gumsprings. Let's get our glasses back, get back to the boat, and then we'll go check that one out. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. You don't want to miss this if you come to Florida and you want to have an adventure. All right, glasses are still safe. Alligator didn't take them. All right. Get back out of here and get back over there to the boat, and we'll head on up to Little Gumsprings, right around the corner. That's quite an experience. And you know, the water didn't feel too bad. I didn't go real deep because I get down too deep, it messes with my ears. But you saw how beautiful it was. All right, let's go on down this little creek now. Very shallow, you can see. Whoa. Oh my goodness. I took a nice little spill. That's all right. Skinned my knee too. Took the fur off my leg. All right. Slippery rocks. It's not bleeding. It's all part of the video, folks. That's what makes it so exciting, the experience. Ah, that's a beautiful spring up there. Full of fish, if I remember right. We're gonna go into that one too. It's a small one, but the beauty of it's incredible. Surrounded by all these beautiful trees. Oh, wow. Let me get my glasses off. Take a look at that. Just take a look at how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. How beautiful. Comes out of the Florida aquifer. Let me see if I can, well, we'll go on into the water and then we'll get the lens cleaned off. So let me get my mask back on here and we'll go check this little tiny spring out. Here we go. Wasn't that just beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Look at glasses. I'm gonna head back to the boat. And what I'm gonna do is just show you a few things on the way. You see the rocks that we have here? Plenty of rocks. These are all lime rock from the Florida aquifer. Okay. I'm gonna head back to the boat now and we'll go and check out a couple of springs on the way back. I sure hope you enjoyed that. All right, now we're at another spring. This is on the way back. This one's called Alligator Springs. Interesting name, I must say, but I did check the area out and I don't see any alligators around here. So anyway, we cannot stop here without taking a look at this. So I'm gonna get my mask on and we're gonna take a swim over this one so you can get a look at this. All right, this one, a little bit trickier to get to. All right, we are ready. Let's take a look. Whew. It was beautiful, wasn't it? There is another spring further down, and I think we're gonna have to take the boat to get to it. It's just too mucky for me to try to swim down this stream right here. So let's go back to the boat, get in, and I'll try to hold it underwater for you to see. Nobody wants anybody on that island. All right. Okay. I'll turn this on in just a minute as we get to that other little creek there, that little spring. We can see that one. I'm not sure what it's called. I think they name it if you look up the site, but anyway, we'll go take a look at that. Okay, we are approaching this other little spring just down from the one that we just swam in. And we're gonna take a look at this. I can see the water bubbling up underneath it, underneath the water. So I'm gonna put the camera down in the water when we get over it so you can see what it looks like. It's a very difficult spot to try to swim to. But anyway, all right, here we go. I don't want to miss one of these springs. They're so beautiful. All right, I'm going to move on ahead here and see what else we can see. And this is on the way back, so if I missed anything, I'll make sure I capture it for you. Guys, there's a really big gator right here. I'm going to see if we can get a headshot there. Anyway, that's all it's showing up out of the water. Can you see it? Just right there. I'm not going to bother that fellow. Incidentally, there is a huge spring under me. So what I'm going to do, if you think I'm getting in this water with that big huge gator right there, I'm not a fool. But what I will do is put the camera down in the water for you to see. Let's do that right now. I'm going to switch on over. Here we go. Video is on, and let's take a look. I don't know what this spring is called, but it's one of the biggest ones here. But it's not very accessible either, because you can see on the banks that there's not many places to really get in and get out. I really wish I could have got a full body shot of that big alligator for you. He's a big boy, probably about, I don't know, maybe 8 foot, 10 foot. Anyway, that's the first time I've seen gators in here. I've been down through here before, and I may have seen some babies, but that's the biggest one I've ever seen in here. But like I said, you don't see that fellow coming after me. They're not aggressive unless you mess with them and you provoke them. So my advice is just enjoy them. So goodbye to Mr. Gator. We're going to be hitting the road. With that, I want to say, if you see water droplets on the camera, pardon me, I'm going to do a closing here. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the video today. I hope you really enjoyed it. I did the best I could. I'm sure you will enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed the springs and the different kinds of springs that you got to see today. This is why I do the Wild Florida Adventure, getting out into the wild so we can see places that people don't normally go. I hope that one day you get to come to Florida and enjoy this. Maybe you'll be able to come here and take this particular trip. If you do, you have good instructions on it. Google it on Google and on the maps and see where it is in Inverness, Florida. It's called Gumsprings Run or Gum Slough, and it's at the end of Turner Camp Road. So smile, be happy. This is the day that the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I pray you'll have a good day. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to this video. If you get a chance, subscribe, or I have to have so many subscribers and viewers, and I appreciate any help you can give me. Thank you so much. Have a good day.